Hello, guys. I'm Chi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Kyte AI and by ZettaBlock Labs. So today, my topic is about decentralized intelligence, OpenAI to all. What does that even mean? So let's take a look at what Kyte AI is doing. Sure. Give me a second. It's not working. Oh, sorry, my bad. How should I go back? Can I go back? Excuse me, can I go back? Back to the. Oh, okay. Okay, apologize for the a little bit chaotic. So Kyte AI, what is Kyte AI? We are actually building a composable, decentralized foundation that democratizes AI by enabling secure and scalable access to data and models. What does that even mean? So basically, as a base layer of AI, we really want to create a foundational framework that's fostering a transparent and accessible AI ecosystems of high quality AI assets, which in this case, we're focusing on data and models. So our innovative architectures with purpose-built identity and attribution mechanisms will really allows participants from enterprise to individual developers to everybody like you and me to be able to contribute, build, and monetize data and models collaboratively. So why do we have this idea? Why do we build Kyte AI? Let's talk a little bit about the market. Apparently, everybody know AI is going to be big. And based on actually, one of the famous report, by 2030, in 5 years, we're going to have AI to really create additional 20 trillion markets. And what does that mean? So our belief is there's going to be a lot of models that will be built in the future, even though everybody know like GPT-4o and Anthropic and Claude, they're all in like the top frontier of everybody, and but that is only for foundation model. So we believe that on top of the foundation model, there's going to be tons of customized models, even small foundation models built on top. And based on that, what will be the problems we see? Based on that, what will be the problems we see? As you know, NVIDIA is actually very popular over the past 2 years because of the shortage of GPU. However, GPU and compute is only part of the AI. What is the other parts? If everybody has been here built models before, we all know like data is actually what model is. So your model is as good as your data. Then in that case, what we're going to see as the biggest bottleneck after GPU, that's what will be data. And by the way, in this case, actually I would love to share a little bit of personal experience about this. So I come from Latin AI background. I did my PhD from UC Berkeley, focused on machine learning and causal inference. So right now, the popular word is expandable AI. And that's what was about, so I started my PhD about 10 years ago. And at that time, most of the AI is still about predictive ML. And at that time, there's been, in order to build a machine learning model, it's actually require a lot of talent and a lot of expertise to build. And data collection, data preparation, to feature engineering, which by the way is another basic, to building the model and updating the model is much longer and more tedious than what we have right now. So that's why, as you can see with the foundation model, everybody can build a model much. The needs and the hunger about more data to help you to customize your own data, your own model, and even like agents. In fact, everybody is someone build agents now. You know how easy it is. So in that case, what's the problem? How can we unlock all those like unaccessible data in this industry right now to help us go to the next phase of AI? So this is just an insight about how would you see the difference between the data now everybody can access versus the data that is not accessible. So GPT-4 is still right now one of the most powerful models, and that is only trained on top of 1 petabyte data. But at JP Morgan alone, they have over 150 petabyte data sitting inside across many different types of data. It's internal logs, tables, but also has a lot of videos, audios, multimodal data. So in that way, can you imagine, like in this world, there's how many data now can really help us to bring AI to the next level, especially if we're talking about in the future, AI is not only LLM. Post-LLM is going to be multimodal models. So in that case, what is the challenge? Why those data is not accessible to help us bring model to the next level? That is because now the data is actually sitting behind the wall, and also the people who actually generate the data are not getting the ownership and the control of the data. So that means you don't even have the control or have the freedom to really give your data or like monetize your data to other people. So in that case, what we see is really the data access become more and more limited. Especially, this is the opposite compared to before, after the rise of Gen AI. Because one of the very shocking number we see in the market right now is for public internet data with open source license has dropped from 95% to 75%, which means there's actually less data accessible on the internet, even though now there's more data generated every day because of the furious competition between the like a big tech companies and big foundation model companies. So in that case, smaller teams, researchers, like individual developers really don't have the chance to access those key resources to build a lot of like innovative models and agents in this process. So then what should we do? And by the way, another big thing in this case is like a privacy. That's another thing we, can really spin off another topic to talk about. So here, Kyte AI is really trying to build a solution to solve this problem. Again, we think unlocking data is really the ultimate means to unlock AI. And in this case, we're building a decentralized platform that fosters an ecosystem of the high quality data and models by providing some of the must-have prerequisite infrastructure underlying to make people feel comfortable to participate in this ecosystem. And we call it like, open AI movement. So what does that even mean? In this case, we know in order for people to be willing to participate, there need to be guarantees of ownership, privacy, and control. So that's why the infrastructure we build underlying provide all those things. We have the purpose-built identity and attribution layers. And we actually call it data and model DNA. Because in that way, we can really help people to guarantee that when they are releasing their data behind the wall into like an ecosystem, they're not afraid of my data is going to get stolen in this process. And so I will never be able to get a fair distribution or fair compensation of what I provided. And also, in this process, again, privacy preserving is extremely important because you don't want to have the sensitive information or anything that you don't want to share that's been leaked in this process. And of course, very importantly, why would people want to participate? Because you need to make sure that those people get what they deserve. So that's why crypto, in this case, is very good tool to really help us align incentive and make sure those people get fair distribution and fair compensation for what they deserve. So this is just an example user flow about how this platform and network is can be used and participated by the key participants. So we split them into three type of people or three type of groups. There's like a data groups, which we call data subnets. There's like an AI builder subnets. That is like the model builders who can provide the model intelligence and really build customized models or even like train foundation models from scratch by themselves. And also there's going to be like infra and agent people to really help us to bring all those key resources together and serve the models to the end users, for example, via agent format. So in this case, as you can see, this is a later on case study I can show to you. It's about a blood cancer diagnosis model that our customers and partners are building on top of us. So in the end of the day, what we are doing is enabling those different entities that are contributing different things, from data to model intelligence to infrastructure support, to now be able and trustlessly collaborate with each other, because they know that their ownership and the contribution can really be fairly recorded and compensated later on. So this is just a few customer examples and partner examples to show who we're working with over the past 2 years. And a few metrics that we're very proud that has already been accumulated in this network and platform is there's over 200,000 tables already been built up by our ecosystem. And there's actually accumulated over 1,500 terabyte data in the network. And a lot of AI use cases have already been put in the production environment. So the cancer diagnosis model is one of the example. There's also a lot of actually crypto use cases, such as like token price prediction and on-chain risk detection and alerting type of use cases. So a little bit about the team background. Myself, like I just give a quick intro. I come from the Web2 AI background, and then realized crypto and blockchain is very, very good tool to help us bring our, the entire AI world and society to the next level. Which, by the way, I want to share a fun fact and a small story here. So when I was a founding member at Data, which was one of the largest automated machine learning platform in the industry at the time, which, by the way, Yusuke, our principal AI engineer, is also one of the co-founders there. We, at the time, our slogan was calling democratize AI already, which is 7 years ago. But I think that democratization is very different than the democratization we're talking about here. Because at the time, when we were talking about democratization, it's more about you democratize the technology. You enable citizen, we call it citizen data scientists and citizen machine learning researchers, to be able to build models without code. You can just do everything without GUI. However, this is not the biggest problem anymore, because now everybody can access the endpoint and API of ChatGPT and OpenAI and all the other, like a closed source foundation model solutions. But the problem right now is all those solutions now has been built and controlled by the biggest companies with the biggest, almost unlimited resources in the industry to build. That's why smaller team, again, smaller developers, smaller groups of developers, even research institute. Right now, we work with a lot of research institutes such as UC Berkeley, UT Austin, and UIUC. They all run into the same issue. Is now I don't have access to the necessary resources I need to build the next generation models that we want. Don't forget that a lot of those innovation and breakthrough of the model architecture actually come from those people, come from universities, even come from like some open source communities. So now the democratization of AI, which Kyte AI is really trying to solve, is really about democratizing the access to the necessary resources, which in this case, we're talking about data and GPU, to really help everybody who have the talents, who are wanting to participate, to now build models and agents in this process. And by the way, the rest of the team are similar, like my background, either come from AI and data background or like a blockchain, Web3 background. So I think this intersection, even like 1 year ago, there's a lot of criticism or a lot of skepticism about the marriage. But now I think more and more people start recognizing it's become real, more and more real. So that's why one of the use cases here, like I just shared a little bit, is this blood cancer pathology diagnosis models. And this is really helping, in this case, UC Berkeley Center of Computational Biology group to build the best-in-class blood cancer model to really help some of the clinic labs in the industry, which some of them are Fortune 500 companies, to really have the chance to save some of the patients' life. So we're very proud to be one of these initiatives and help people to, really access those resources and build the best model. And another use case is more consumer-facing for everybody. We know that now AI application is still in very early stage. A lot of people criticism about, AI adoption is not there because applications are not mature enough. However, there's one of the applications are getting a lot of adoption, which is AI Companion. And you guys probably heard a lot of good companies in the industry that are building that. So this is very similar to one of the use cases and customers of us are building. So essentially what we are helping them is now to have access to a lot of high quality, unique audio and video data, those multimodal data, to build the AI agent and models to really help them, help the creators in this creator platform to have now their double me type of support to interact and engaging with their fans better. So this is the second use case. And another one that's, by the way, we're just launched Save the Llama, which is our community use case yesterday. So this use case is the first community-owned AI stand-up comedy show that's featuring the first animated agent. And the whole point here is everybody here can help the model and help the llama to get more funny. And in this community-driven experiment, what we want to do is every user can help train the model in real time. And then you get earning rewards based on your jokes and ideas that are helping the llama to improve the performance. And of course, our attribution tag can really make sure that your contribution are fairly tracked and rewarded in the end. So that is the end of the presentation, but really welcome to the future, and we really hope that decentralized intelligence can be here for everyone, everywhere. Thank you. Still have a few minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, so it really depends on the, people's preference. So we work with different level of, like a customer's profile that's require different type of privacy level. So the most extreme customers, they don't even allow any of their data go out of their environment. In that case, we really have to do something, like a really bring the model side and the model builder side to their environment. And in that case, the model is actually trained on top of T, so that like the model owners or like the model providers don't have the fear or concerns about their model weights get really stolen in this process. However, for other type of customers who have less concerns or like less extreme requirement, in that case, we are actually using MPC plus data encryption, such as at rest and emotion type of technology to help us enable the people upload their data, and the data will still be make sure encrypted or not afraid of the privacy leaking. And on top of that, for compute privacy, there are some other solutions we're doing there as well. But of course, T is one of the very common one that we're using. Yeah. Anything else? No? Yeah, sure.
Specifically, what parts are you gonna?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, I wish I really bring our technical architecture here so I can point it out to you guys very easily. Yeah, I'll ask you. Yeah, provide more details later on. But high levelly, we consider blockchain as a very like a good technology as an immutable ledger that really can be a identity, decentralized identity and access control layer. And the verification piece for that is more about the proof of contributions. Like, oh, you have the, like your data attribution and model attribution tracked in this process, and that will be verified and put on chain. But for the real like data transformation pipeline, and also even like a model training type of process, at this moment, we're doing that off-chain. But on the other side, I saw a lot of good kind of like a breakthrough and good research are trying to do decentralized training and decentralized inference. I mean, usually it starts from inference, and the harder the better it gets, it can go to the fine-tuning and training process. But we have not adopted that yet because we're relying on hopefully some of the good partners and ecosystem projects can solve this. But even like Web2 solutions, even Web2 companies such as like a Google DeepMind are doing something like this for example, for decentralized training. Recently, they just published a few papers about this, like Deepaco, DeLoco. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can discuss that further. Yeah, but we had done a lot of like, unfortunately, in the very beginning, it has to be some trade-off, especially given that our customer a lot of times require that to run in a large scale level in production. So, but hopefully with a real breakthrough of like ZK and decentralized training type of framework, that will be, yeah, that's what really help us to have more confidence about this.